An interesting thought came to my mind. In the spiritual world, in the religious world, they would say an epiphany. I guess in the scientific world, when people analyze data, they come to a conclusion, uh, whatever you want to call it. I'm more curious to find out what you think of, not so much whether you agree with it, but whether I'm able to express this thought that came to me. You see, I came to the conclusion that we're here on this earth not just for one purpose. I think a lot of times because our language is so limited, human language is so limited, we don't, we're only have so many words to describe something. And that cannot possibly be as expansive a way to express ourselves as our souls. And so our language limits us quite often as to how we can say something and convey an idea. And the thought that we're here on this earth for just one purpose, I thought is so limiting. I think the word purpose is not quite, I don't quite agree with it. I think what that word really should say is we are here for alignment. Because if you think about it, at different stages in your life, don't you have different energies? Don't you feel like you're at a different point and you have different interests and you have different challenges to address? And so you focus on that, and your purpose may be totally different from what your purpose was when you were 12 years old. I mean, my purpose, your purpose at the age of 50 may be different from what it was at 20. And I think to limit ourselves to say that we only have one purpose is not counterproductive, counterintuitive to everything that we know about the universe. In fact, we know that we're expanding all the time, not just the universe, the planets. We as humans are expanding and evolving all the time. So to say that we're here on this earth for just one purpose is inconsistent with the ever expanding universe. So I think that for me, instead of using the word purpose, I feel more comfortable thinking of that word more as alignment, that we're kind of headed in a certain direction generally in our lives, but at different stages we have a different purpose. My purpose when I was in my 20s was merely to have a great career, make a lot of money, be very successful. It was all financially driven. So my purpose was very different. My purpose in life was to prove that I could do it. I came to the United States as an immigrant and with no money. My mother came here with two daughters, two suitcases, and $200 to her name, no English. And so in my 20s, my purpose was really to give validation and to show to my mother that her efforts and her sacrifices were worthwhile and so greatly appreciated. So in my 20s, my entire purpose was just to be financially successful. Now that I'm older, I'm not going to disclose how old I am, but my purpose is very different. I've seen it, done it all, and so I'm at a different stage where my purpose is more to be of a guide, a leader, maybe a teacher, or a visionary, an influencer, someone who sheds light on things. But that doesn't mean that along the way, right now at this stage of my life, that I don't have other purposes. Of course I do. So I wrote a couple of little notes because I wanted to make sure that I covered all these thoughts that I had. So the key is really to be more in alignment and not to limit ourselves. And here's the other thing, I think, when we use human words, our vocabulary is so limited that imagine those people who never find their purpose. Does that mean they're going to be frustrated all their lives? Well, certainly not. Hopefully, I should say, hopefully not. And so to put into someone's mind that they only have one purpose, I think is denying the human being of their expansionary capabilities. So I think if we align ourselves with the greater energy that we are, universe, God, the infinite intelligence, whatever you want to call that, and so long as we live purposefully, in other words, at the time, at the stage in our lives that we are in, if we live purposefully to give to give our all, to give all our intention at that time, at that moment, then we are truly in alignment and living in the direction that we're all headed in anyway. So anyway, that was the thought that I had. Is it's, to me, it's more important to live purposefully than to live with purpose. Even though I wrote a book about living with purpose, I've just come to realize that it's more about just having one purpose. It's really more about being in alignment, so that when we are living purposefully, that we're living at the highest and the best that we can offer others. Again, in my 20s, if I was living purposefully, it means that I was giving my best to my employers, to my co-workers, to my office environment, to contributing at office meetings, certainly to contributing to the bottom line. In my 50s, if I'm living purposefully, it means I've already been a parent, or my children are no longer living at home. I'm an empty nester, and hopefully at this stage of my life, I'm living purposefully. And again, what does that mean for me? What that means for me today is totally different from what it meant when I was, younger, or at different stages. So anyway, I would love to hear what your thoughts are on living purposefully versus living in alignment. And again, the idea that we have more than just one purpose. Really, our reason for being here as humans on this earth today is to live in alignment. Because when we do, then we have it all. Then we have, we're living with success, with happiness, with joy, with peace, with financial abundance, with health of body, mind, and soul. So anyhow, sorry for the rant. I was so excited about this epiphany, if you will, and would love to hear from you.